What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Thanks to you guys, it's the fastest growing Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and give me all your takes down below in the comment section. I want all your fire Dodger takes down below in the comment section. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So the MLB hot stove is getting closer and closer to reaching its boiling point this offseason, with a major domino falling yesterday in Liam Hendriks. The top free agent reliever this offseason got a big bag from the Chicago White Sox. Tim Brown of Yahoo Sports was the first to report on the deal, and then Jeff Passan tweeted, "It's a 3-year deal that will pay Hendriks $39 million in those first 3 years, but both the buyout and fourth-year option salary are $15 million, so Hendriks will receive $54 million regardless of what White Sox do." So another big swing by the Chicago White Sox, who already made some big moves this offseason. They made the trade for Lance Lynn, Adam Eaton, and now they add the best reliever in the game this offseason in Liam Hendriks. And I love Liam Hendriks as a player, of course. Last season, a 40.2 strikeout percentage, a 3.3 walk percentage. This guy was elite across the board. He's lights out. This guy is intimidating on the mound. Now, was it an overpay for Liam Hendriks? Yes, they definitely gave him a big bag. And me, when it comes to relievers, they're just so volatile. You don't know what you're going to get on a year-to-year basis, but it's clear what they're trying to do. They're trying to win with that bullpen. Last season, the teams with the top two bullpens, they played each other in the World Series. You know what Tony La Russa does as a manager? He knows how to manage a bullpen. He knows how to get it to that lockdown closer. So giving them Liam Hendriks, I definitely see the White Sox as a real contender in the American League. I mean, they already had a solid lineup and a nice rotation, and now that bullpen is loaded. You got Foster, Hoyer, Marshall, Bummer, Crochet. Now you add in Liam Hendriks. That's one of the best bullpens in all of Major League Baseball. So watch out for the White Sox. Now, how does this Hendriks deal impact the Dodgers? Well, first, if they're a World Series contender, that's who the Dodgers could be facing this year. And will we see a rematch of the 1959 World Series, Dodgers-White Sox? It was the first World Series for the Dodgers in Los Angeles, and we saw in last year's World Series. The Dodgers going against the Tampa Bay Rays, they had a beefed-up bullpen. Ultimately, the Dodgers broke through, and heading into that series with the Rays, we heard so much about how dominant that Rays bullpen was, but eventually the Dodgers broke through. They got to guys like Castillo, like Anderson, like Yarbrough, like Fairbanks. Fairbanks, a big four-seam slider guy, just like Liam Hendriks. So I'm not really worried about the White Sox building this buzzsaw bullpen that could prevent the Dodgers from going back-to-back next season. We know this explosive Dodgers lineup is going to score runs against any bullpen in baseball. So my second big takeaway from the Liam Hendriks signing is that the stars are still getting paid in Major League Baseball. The top-tier free agents are still going to get big bags, and I think Liam Hendriks is a good example. Now, he gets his. What does that mean for Trevor Bauer, and what does that mean for DJ LeMahieu? If you're a Dodger fan that wants to see DJ LeMahieu in Dodger blue, well, Liam Hendriks, he got a nice deal. Will ultimately the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Blue Jays cave and overpay for DJ LeMahieu and give him that 5-year, $125 million contract that he's after? I think we've all come to expect a slow-to-develop market after it was reported that MLB lost $3.1 billion due to the pandemic-shortened season. But this Hendriks deal signals to me that teams that want to compete, teams that want to go after a World Series title, are still willing to pay. So I don't think we're going to get DJ LeMahieu on some massive discount. I think that players are still going to get theirs this offseason. Maybe not the crazy money that we've seen in years past, but you're still going to see some monster contracts as evidenced by the Liam Hendriks deal. So this actually makes me feel less confident that the Dodgers get DJ LeMahieu, because I do think that either the Blue Jays or the Yankees will end up getting close to that 5 years, $125 million that he's after, and I don't think the Dodgers will ever consider it. Not to where I feel really good about Justin Turner returning to the Dodgers. I think they'll find a way to figure out a contract that makes sense for both parties in that deal, and I'm still really high on Gavin Lux. I think this is going to be the breakout year for Gavin Lux, and I still think the Dodgers have a right-handed bat up their sleeve. And then my last big takeaway from the Liam Hendriks signing is, what does this mean for some of the relievers that are still on the board, namely Brad Hand? Now, we talked a little bit about Brad Hand yesterday, but we're going to take a little deeper dive today to see, should the Dodgers really consider signing Brad Hand? Well, yesterday, Jesse Rodriguez from ESPN tweeted out Speaking of Hendriks, the reliever market should start to thaw now that he's signed. Brad Hand could be next. Like Hendriks, Hand is talking to teams about multi-year deals, according to sources. So should the Dodgers be all Brad Hands on deck? Well, first and foremost, how good is he and what is he worth? Well, last season, he was outstanding. He led all of Major League Baseball with 16 saves. He had a 2.05 ERA, a 1.37 FIP, a .773 WHIP. He had 11.9 strikeouts per nine, so a 33.7 K percentage and a career-low 4.7 walk percentage. So he is elite-ish in a lot of different categories. The peripherals are there for Brad Hand, but there is a concern. It is that fastball velo. It decreased for the second straight season, and we saw what happened to Kenley Jansen when that fastball velo started to drop. He wasn't the same pitcher, but when it comes to Brad Hand, I wouldn't be overly concerned with that velo dip because, one, you've seen it fluctuate in his career, and also it's all about the slider with Brad Hand. 7.2 inches of horizontal movement on that slider. That is elite movement. It's a straight, nasty, filthy sword coming out of Brad's hand. So he may not be the dominant pitcher that Liam Hendriks is, but he's definitely a top 5 to 10 reliever in all of Major League Baseball, one of the top shelf guys in this league. Now the question is, what kind of offer should the Dodgers make him? Well, I think, one, you're going to stay away from anything past 2 years. You're not going to give him a deal like the White Sox just gave Liam Hendriks as far as length goes, so definitely a 2-year contract. As far as for how much, look, the Indians, they rejected a $10 million deal with Brad Hand, so you have to assume he's looking for something around that amount. But if I'm Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers, I'm not going past $20 million for Brad Hand. 2 years, $18 to $20 million for Brad Hand. They just signed Blake Trinan to a $17.5 million deal. So if you look at that Dodgers bullpen, it does start to add up pretty quick. Brooks Smith, one of the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, he pointed out last week that the Dodgers are already close to $45 million invested in that bullpen next season. So I don't think they'd break the bank for Brad Hand, but I think they'd love him at a reasonable price because Andrew Friedman has said he wants to continue to diversify this bullpen. He's a lefty. He's a slider specialist. And yes, they have Victor Gonzalez, who's a lefty that can throw a slider, but I also think they want to keep Julio Urias in that starting rotation. They want him to be a dominant starter. I don't think they want to throw him into that bullpen. And Brad Hand, he gives you that lefty look, gives you that slider look, and I think that he would be a nice pickup for this Dodger team, a great addition if they can get him at a reasonable price. And I do think the Dodgers, if they're going to bring back Justin Turner and not sign DJ LeMahieu, they could focus their attention on bringing in Brad Hand while the Mets and the Blue Jays are focusing on getting George Springer and DJ LeMahieu. It might be an opportunity for the Dodgers to come in there, finalize a deal, and Kenley Jansen can hand over the closing duties to Brad Hand. Now, one more thing before we head out. This got me really excited this morning. David Price posted a video of him working out, of him throwing in preparation for the upcoming spring training. And I'm telling you, David Price, he looks hungry. He looks determined to have a great year this year. He wants to show everyone that, hey, he's still that elite pitcher. Here's David Price throwing this morning. Man, he is looking fresh and ready to go. I think David Price is going to be one of the best number 3 starters in all of Major League Baseball. David Price, he's the man. But let me know down below in the comments, how do you feel about Brad Hand? Should the Dodgers sign Brad Hand? What kind of contract would you offer him? And then David Price, do you think he's going to have a great year for the Dodgers? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. And if you haven't yet, do me a favor and subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. If you want more Dodgers Nation videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. It's the fastest growing Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. So for all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, interviews, podcasts, you're going to find it right here. So hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. For all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.